The driver of the first vehicle, Ross Willoughby, was deceased on scene. The other vehicle that Willoughby made collision with had 3 occupants. 2 were found deceased on scene, and the third was flown to Flag Medical. All 3 occupants were from the Phoenix area. Next of kin notification is still pending, and we are still conducting our investigation. An autopsy by the Coconino County Medical Examiner's Office has revealed that Willoughby died from a bullet wound consistent with that of a self-inflicted gunshot. Driver and the mother-in-law were pronounced deceased on the scene, and his wife was airlifted to the Flagstaff Medical Center where she's in critical condition.
The caller further advised items sounded that they were being broken inside the residence. When officers arrived, they observed the involved parties at that location having an aggressive argument. Officers began giving verbal commands to the involved parties. Proctor immediately fled the area, running to the rear of the home. Due to previous threats he had made towards law enforcement, asked him to show his hand, which he initially refused to do. At this point, Proctor threw a can of beer at an officer, striking him in the chest. Proctor advanced toward the officer in an aggressive manner, where a taser was deployed on Proctor to facilitate control and arrest. Officers had responded to the same home earlier in the evening for a loud party call. While there, officers discovered the party was actually a memorial gathering for Monty's son, who had recently passed away. While officers were on scene, they noticed Proctor was present, and when he observed the officer speaking to the homeowner, he covered his face and quickly walked into the residence. After counseling the homeowner to keep his noise level down, officers left the noise problem call with no further incident.
Officers arrived and observed a single motorcycle down in the roadway. The rider sustained significant injuries as a result of the crash. Emergency medical personnel arrived and life-saving attempts were made. However, the 23-year-old Prescott Valley resident was pronounced deceased at the scene. It was determined that the rider was traveling eastbound on Lakeshore Drive from the Windsong Drive intersection when he lost control of the motorcycle and ran off the roadway, which resulted in a collision with a tree. The rider was not wearing a helmet at the time of the collision. Preliminary investigation could not determine if alcohol or drugs were a factor in the crash.